Welcome to Jocelyn's Cabaret. Just kidding, you guys. I am at the Platinum Palace, as you can see.
I know that's
BMF,
right.
Black Mafia family. Aaron is at a
I'm in the
pivotal
living room
scene
with Charles and Lucille, and
on the
Charles
ground.
is trying to coat. I gotta take it back in the day. He trying to coat on Lucille. You see, she has on her 90. She is ready.
And do you see he got the guns out?
He got the guns out. She has the lust in her eyes. She don't know what she gonna do.
You guys, BMF has been so good. We're gonna do like just a little quick summary
Mhm.
of episode 4 before we dive into episode 5.
Yeah, because we missed out um last week. So we'll do a little short summary episode 4 and then get into it. So what's been going on episode 4? We see Meech returning to Detroit. He is now back in the big city with his family. Breeze and Nicole are getting more cozy together. And I have mixed feelings about that because a part of me that's like my little sister in my head. Because my little sister and her are close in age.
It's
So
like
I'm
stop
like,
growing up
stop growing up. You being a little bit, but she's not even being fast. She's just being a
at
young
all.
girl and
Mhm.
enjoying herself. And I love to see that. Lucia and Maurice, they're kind of getting into something. She's making out with that man a little bit. It was hard for her to, you know.
I mean, but okay, wait. You just called him that man. So are you no longer here for Lucille getting her groove back?
I'm happy it's happening, but at the same time, it's like I just want her to do what she needs to do and get back home to Charles because I want her and Charles to be together ultimately. And I really feel like Charles is putting in the work.
Okay, so for you, they're in game.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in
Okay.
game. What about you? Would you rather her be with
The doctor, yeah.
Maurice?
I'm sick of her struggling. I'm sick of her working at Wendy's.
Oh.
I'm sick of her trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. I think that she deserves to be happy. And also, it's like, why now that you cheated on her, Mr. Four Pump Chump, that you all of a sudden, want to finally get your arms out and fix the light fixture and all these things and caught her when she should have been on your mind because you laughed at her when she had got her a little slip from JC Penney's. But now that you see that someone else is interested, you all of a sudden want your family back. And I hate that.
I think he's
Thank you.
realizing what's important because his son is really showing him that maybe this isn't the life. You know what I'm saying? He's literally looking at Terry like, I don't want to be nothing like this man at all. And this is my
And ain't that
child.
ironic? Terry is like, oh, I guess we're not so different after all.
They are though.
Very. A whole
Very.
baby and a drug
Because
dealer, like, be for real.
well,
Hold
this
on.
is this is season what we on season 3? Yeah, we're
Yeah,
on
season
season
3.
3. So I don't want to say too much. Let's not give him too much credit. But for now, Charles
If
is on my
Charles has
good
a baby
side.
on Lucille, I am going to go crazy.
Do you think that we'll ever see that lady from the church again that he was messing around with?
Oh, the neighbor? No.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I
Why not?
think that, like, he would be embarrassed to, like, be around her. It would be a new woman if he were to cheat, like we saw in episode 5. We'll get into that. But okay, continue. Episode 4.
Episode 4. So we find out more about Stacks. That was really the biggest reveal, honestly. Stacks is working with Glock, and now Stacks is the ops. He's trying to take Meech out, and that's what they arranged first. But he's like, no, I actually take them both out. So now we can't trust Stacks at all, and it's very unfortunate because I like Stacks, and now I don't.
Loved 2 Chains as Stacks, but he has to go. He has to be river dancing
That's how
into the grave.
that man got blasted. That man got lifted. They peeled his cap.
Bat blue.
Literally. They peeled that shit back. But that was episode 4, y'all.
Yeah, those are the main points,
Main
obviously.
points.
But I want to do before we move on.
Mhm.
I think the spirit of Diana from
Oh
Power
yeah.
Book Two got into Miss Nicole because they had the family dinner because the prodigal son was back. And she was just like, we're at this table, people are lying. I'm not the only one who is acting a little bit different. Like, daddy, you cheated. Mama, got the doctor calling the house. Meech is in a different city and Terry is running around with Lala. Not exactly Lala, but Marquisha.
Mm-mm. No, Lala.
That was such a huge, like, crazy moment that I did not expect from Nicole at all. She had a little too much dip on her chip, but it made for an
I'm
exciting
glad
scene.
she said it though, because the thing is, LaWanda needs to leave Terry for good.
Yeah.
That's just that. It's not gonna work. She needs to go on with her mama and have that baby. And I still don't know who called CPS. I still don't know yet. But
I have no idea because I thought it was Marquisha, but it doesn't seem like it was her.
some people are saying in the Facebook groups, because I love those, but they're like, Marquisha did
Thing.
it.
Yeah,
She had to
that's
do
what we
it.
thought
Because who
from the.
else? But I'm like,
But
damn.
like you said, it could have been Henry.
Child, we'll
The
see.
ops, child, the ops.
We'll see.
Okay, let's get into episode 5, which is the Battle of Techwood. This really reminded me of Game of Thrones Battle of the Bastards because obviously at the end there is a major shootout and
Lives were lost.
lives were lost. And it just is a turn. You can tell this is a real turning point. We are midway through the season.
We are midway through the season, and it's unfortunate, y'all. So with episode 5, it starts off with Meech throwing a homecoming party. Now, at this homecoming party, they're at the Platinum Palace. Women are, yeah, exactly. Women are shaking ass. They're throwing money. They're having a good old time. They're drinking. They're jobbing. They're gyrating. They're doing all the things that Black people do in that time period. Um, so during the moment while everybody's having fun, we see Stacks look at Meech, and he's like, "Hey, yo, look over there." And then he's like, "It's a Remy Ransom over there. What are you gonna do?" And Meech loves punching people in their face. Every time a fight starts off, we just see Meech run over with like
It
a
gets it
suit
popping.
or a button up in shades and just punches somebody like dead in their shit. And it never fails. It's like, it's not a gun, it's not a shootout. He just punches them in their shit like hard as fuck.
And I think that's the thing that I like the most about Meech is that he's a man of action, period.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice that though? Like every fight literally starts
Yeah.
that way.
He starts it and he doesn't like I feel like back in the day, I mean, these days people are so quick to just literally take each other's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, it was like, you're gonna run me a fair one. Like, we're gonna use our
Yeah.
hands like men. And when it comes to it, yeah, we might have to pull out a gun, but I'm gonna give you a chance. Like, I'm gonna let you fight
Mm-hmm.
me with your fists. Meech runs over there. He he does a WWE SmackDown on them niggas.
That's what he does. That's exactly what he does. And this whole situation is ironic because we know Stacks is not really fucking with Meech like that anyway, and he's trying to set him up. So Stacks is really running the show behind the scenes. After this tussle, they go outside, shots are fired. Somebody on Meech's side actually gets shot and killed. And at this point, Meech thinks that Remy Ransom has something to do with this, and this is like somebody from his camp. Meanwhile, it's really not, and we'll get into that. But it's Stacks. Y'all already knew it. I knew when I seen that shit. I was like, "Oh, Stacks set this up."
With the MKs, child.
So that's unfortunate. Um, did you think that it was Stacks?
I definitely thought it was sex because only because we had that reveal that I was not
Mhm.
looking. I did not expect that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't expect it, but I wasn't surprised. And I know that doesn't make sense, but
Well, this is why I was surprised. I'll tell you why. Is because I thought that they already had their little man to man like beef when Meech already came to Atlanta. He was like, you don't run shit. Like, who are you? He's like, I'm a friend of Ty, but he's like, how could Ty leave you in charge? Like, we don't know you. You're not from Atlanta. So I thought they kind of already got whatever pressure off their chest. So I didn't think that Stacks was going to be working with, you know,
right.
the big dog.
The big dog, the big dog.
So once it
So
was revealed, I'm like, okay, this has to be his doing because it happened the next episode.
the Nets, you're right. You're right. So next in line, Charles meets with Sister Riley. They go to a cafe. And right now, Charles is, like I said, he's on his apology tour. He's trying to get Lucille back. He thinks of an idea. He's like, you know what? I want to write a song. And I want to have the old people from the church sing on it. So, Sister Riley, the woman that he meets up with, she's like, yeah, we can get that done. Like, we might could even record this shit tonight. Like me and the
Yeah.
choir might can go to the church house and record this shit tonight.
She said, you ain't saying nothing but a word.
You ain't say nothing but a word. And they actually get it done. And during this time, y'all remember that lady, Lucille's cousin, allegedly our friend that she was making stuff with at the church house that she was cooking with. She seen the exchange between Charles and Sister Riley, and of course she took it in a negative way, and she was like, "Oh, you're cheating on Lucille again." So I just knew that was going to cause some problems later on down the line. I just didn't know how that was
Because the
going to
way
go.
that she got her grits to go and ran out of there, like she was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, wait until Lucille hears about this
This, I was like, "Damn." You could
with
tell
someone
she ate
else
her
from the
grits,
church."
and she was
Hmm.
like, "I'm heading over there right now."
And did.
And did. So then next we see Detective Bryant. He's in jail. That's how it leads off because the officers picked his ass up in the last episode since Meech said they had sought all of that out. Because Detective Bryant keeps following Meech for some reason. He's obsessed with both Meech and Terry, possibly because he's just trying to ensure that his son has a good case. And I also think another side of him is just jealous because his son is in the position that he's in, and these boys are still
Yes.
roaming and free.
That's exactly what he said. He's like, why
Yeah.
is Terry allowed to go free and my son who's innocent, has a
But it's
pure
like
heart,
you're
he
not a
draws
cop
cartoons.
anymore.
Mm.
You're not a cop anymore.
And it was his own fault too.
And your hands are getting messy because now you're just as worse. You're involving yourself in all this bullshit. So that's the thing about Detective Bryant. The people who get him out of jail is Blaze's team, and they try to set his ass up and kill him. One of the guys in the back seat tries to stab him, and he ends up freeing himself and tucking and rolling out of the car. So once again, Detective Brian is safe. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought this was gonna end bad for Detective Brian, and I was kind of hoping it would. Um, but
You wanted Detective Bryant. Okay, wait, are you ready for Detective Bryant to die?
yeah, or just get
Okay.
hurt, or just get hurt real bad to the point where it's like, okay, like
Like off
stop.
camera. Like the way that they did Lamar. Well, they put Lamar on crack, but like kind of
Yeah,
like they're not like put them in the back on ice and maybe bring them back in the later season.
exactly. That's what I was hoping, and I knew he had a son to save, but I was hoping that we would see Gloria, Cynthia Bailey's character, take more of a role and a lead in this because I want to see more of her anyway.
Mhm.
Um, so that's what I was hoping, but he escaped, and I should have known. Meech and Terry are clashing now because Meech wants to come up with a plan to take out Remy Ransom and the MKs. And Terry's whole thing, I feel like this is kind of like a Martin Luther King, Malcolm X type of thing. Meech is like the Malcolm X.
Mhm.
And Terry's like Martin Luther King. He's like, no, we gotta fix this with peace. We gotta come peaceful. We gotta come up with a more thought out plan. And Meech is like, nah, we just gotta kill him. Like, we just gotta take their ass out now. So eventually
A
they end
man of
up.
action.
I mean, yeah, because Meech is more of a man of action. Terry's more of like I'm going to think this out a little bit, and then I'm going to come back. And I think that works well together because, as we can see, Meech was going to trust Stacks,
Mm,
and Terry was more of like the one that questioned him, and he was like, "Yo,
I don't
he
trust
wasn't here
him.
with him. Yeah, he wasn't here with us when all this shit was going down. So where was his ass at?"
Mm. Ain't that something?
But then Meech was already 2 steps ahead of it,
10 steps, he said.
10 steps. So I was like, oh. So you know what? That was the whole thing. I want to shout out to Rip because Rip loses his life at the end, but Rip had a song on his hands.
A banger. And I hope that we get
A
to
banger.
hear it. And I hope that Meech puts it on the streets like he promised them. Because Rip already knew that, live by the sword, die by the sword. So Meech, although he's trying to get his music thing started, like being behind the music. And he was, telling him about how his dad lost his dream of becoming a musician. So he doesn't want to see that happen to another person. So Rip was already like, I know that where this is going to end. So please make sure that people hear my music. And Meech is more like, no, you're going to live. But he ended up,
They
not.
kill. But I want this
Mhm.
song because I had to rewind it. I was like, yeah, I like this. I like this for real.
Right.
Lucille's pastor comes over and she wants Lucille to be her assistant pastor. She was like, listen, I know you're working at Wendy's. We can't pay you the same shit that you're getting over there.
Right.
But she's like, we can come pretty damn close, and maybe, eventually at some point we can.
Get your
And
full time.
Lucille says, she's like, I gotta pray on it because I'm not sure I'm ready to leave Wendy's yet. And they just came out with the Baconator and shit. So it's like we're just getting shit popping off right now. Like, I don't know if it's worth it. So, that whole thing is going on. But we'll see. I really do think that Lucille is going to take that once she gets done doing what she's doing because right now she has to
I
get
think
her
that she's
lit
on a
back.
path of self discovery and also realizing that her kids are old now.
Mhm.
Like her kids, two of them out of the house, and one is getting older. So, what does Lucille want? And it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a marriage or, just continuing just to be a mom
Mhm.
and just working at Wendy's. She's going to have to realize that she can do multiple things.
She can. And ultimately, do you think that she is going to choose Maurice or is do you think she's gonna go back to Charles? Or do you think she's gonna say, fuck both of these men? I'm gonna be the assistant pastor and I'm gonna focus on that.
That's what I want her to do. But I just feel like I'm so suspicious of the doctor because it's like too good to be true, right? Like
Mhm.
this is obviously what she deserves, and what I want for her is to have a man who she likes, and obviously they have history and chemistry, and he's handsome, and he actually has money, and I'm pretty sure he lasts longer than 4 strokes. But where do you come from?
Is that Terry's daddy?
Look a little bit like him. Did you, are you convinced
Wait
that
a
it's Terry's
minute.
dad now? Like,
Yeah. Cause it's like shit just added up in my head.
they were young and they.
What? Cause I'm like, Terry's a little bit darker than Meech. And I know sometimes it
Mhm.
don't play out that way, but
Yeah, but
so
anything is possible.
anything is possible. We gotta move forward, child, because I feel like I done
Yeah.
discovered some shit. So Angel books out the Platinum Palace. She's not dancing for Greeny anymore. She's dancing for Meech.
Hmm.
And she does her dancing dolls routine.
Not dancing
And
dolls.
yeah, she does the dancing dolls routine and she, and Meech is loving it. Meech is like, yeah, fuck yeah. And she goes over there, they sleep together, they have relations, I'll say that. In the background, that's a nice song playing. They really paid homage to Tracy Spencer's Tender Kisses. If you know, you know. If you watch Family Matters, you remember that scene of Eddie Winslow singing with that lady?
No. Tell me more about like what else happened in the episode
Yeah, that was
in Family Matters? Because I'm trying to remember
I want to say
now.
it was him
I
and
really
it
want to
was him and
remember.
Tracy Spencer, the artist who makes that song, Tender Kisses.
Oh, like it was like one of those guest spots.
Yeah. And they at the end of the episode, like they sing the song together in a room.
Oh yeah, I did not peep that at
Hmm.
all. I feel like you watched Family Matters much more recently
I
than
just
I
know
have.
I just know that particular song because it's in one of my playlists.
Okay, perfect.
Um, but you know, they do their thing. So Estelle, Lucille's cousin, she ends up coming up where she's like, pack your shit up. This nigga cheating on your ass. Now you're
Again,
getting a divorce again. She's so sick of it. She's like, I should have known better. I thought Estelle was the one that was going through it. And Lucille's like, what are you talking about? You know, she's still on her high. She's still thinking about the doctor. She can't even process this the right way. And she done got Lucille riled up. Lucille has a baseball bat now. It was just too much. It was intense. So
so good though because it was just like, wow, you finally get like I was already thinking about leaving him, and hanging with the doctor. Like you just gave me another reason, and she's just like, once a cheetah, always a cheetah.
oh, she was so ready to leave his ass. She
Yeah, but
really
then he
wanted
comes
to, but
in.
now she had more of a reason. But yeah, then he comes in and he's like, baby, no. I don't want to leave you. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't messing around. I
The
made you a
song.
song. I wrote a song. Charles
Hmm.
put that cassette tape in that cassette tape player, and he was like, and the auto tune turned on somehow, and the way he sung that lady that song, and she was just like, "It's time to go to the bedroom."
Enough
And
talking,
when you know,
enough singing.
and when you know, you know. And I love this scene because it was so tasteful. It
Right,
was
it's
so
grown. We don't
subtle,
see
grown.
Lucille fucking down. Like we
No,
see Lucille like, let's go to the bedroom, and the cameras are out. Put the cameras down.
put the cameras down. That was my exact thoughts. Like it was no more. And it was just what was implied. And that's what I love about BMF. They still don't take away from that. They make the older people still have that decorum and they leave all that fucking to the young people. You know, all that
Right.
foolishness and carrying on, they leave that to the younger crew. And I just love
Exactly.
that. Um Meech gets word, the lady running the house, she was like, Stacks is the one behind this shit. I knew it. I knew I should have known better. And Meech is like, you know, yeah, now we got to change up the plan. But he's not really worried about Stacks because he has another plan to go to Remy Ransom and actually make peace with Remy and apologize and see if they can maybe work something out. So I actually like that plan because it was going to get the MKs off their back and also set them up for success. Um, let's see.
So they pretty much like have the plan, Meech and Terry, but
Mhm.
Meech tells Terry, like, yeah, so we got confirmation that Stack set us up, but I have my own plan. They are on their way to basically Techwood, and you know that Stacks has someone, a plug over there that he told him about before, not a plug, but someone who's there, a spy.
You talking
That
about the
spy was
crackhead lady in the window?
exactly.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Well, he said that he had a spy there, and
And she
that's
was
the
like, yeah, it's
spy.
going down. It's about to go down.
And she's
They
like,
just rolled
"Come
up here.
now."
While this is going on, Detective Veronica and Detective Kobe are doing karaoke. They're bonding. They're living their best life until Detective Bryant comes in.
And fucks
Um,
everything up.
and fucks everything up. And this is I want because I skipped a part. This is after he goes to visit Kev and he finds out that Kev is being sexually assaulted, and it's a lot going on in jail, which was very hard for me to see because I knew that was happening, just how it was implied in the last episode. So that was really sad to
Because
see.
Henry like pulled the protection, and not only
Yeah,
did she pull the protection, but it just got to that point. So Brant is fired up.
literally. She sets it off in that bitch. Um, and we see Detective Kobe fighting for her life, which is very unfortunate to see, because I feel like we were getting to know her, and we're probably still getting to know her because I noticed they didn't show her after that. So
Yeah,
I
like
don't think,
she looks dead. I mean, I feel like in real
yeah,
life she would have to be dead. So I would not be surprised. But then also on the other hand, I'm like, well, why would they bring her on for such a short amount of time if
yeah.
she
So
so do you think
she,
she's alive?
yeah, I think she's alive. I think that she probably has a little suit under there or a little chest plate or something, that might be helping her out a little bit.
Bulletproof.
A bulletproof vest.
Okay.
So yeah, and Meech is standing 10 toes down. Now they're just walking outside at this point. They're not even in the car. They're just trying to see what's up. He tries to work out a plan with Remy, but Remy's honestly not feeling the whole thing. And he's like, you know what? Fuck you, actually. And during that exchange, Stacks comes out of nowhere because y'all know he's been warned. So now he's just like, let's get it popping. Him and his
With the
people
MKs.
with the MKs, they just start shooting up the place. So we lost some lives. Unfortunately, Rip
I mean, the most
dies.
heartbreaking has to be the what's his name? Milton? The little kid.
Oh yeah, Milton. Milton dies. The little kid that Remy Ransom was trying to teach, and trying to better his life in the ways that he
Mentor.
could. Yeah, mentor him in the ways that he could for the
Yes.
circumstances. But he dies. Rip dies. Stacks dies at the end. Um, and then Kevin dies from suicide. So that's the last death.
Yeah, so after the detectives got shot at, Detective Bryant gets basically like a page, come quick, come fast. And I
Mhm.
didn't know that it was going to end up like this. So it's really sad because I think that they could have did more with Kev.
I
Or
had a
maybe I
feeling.
was just sad.
I had a feeling this was how it was going to end, just because he just looked so hopeless each time Detective Brian came to visit him,
Mhm.
and I just didn't think they were going to draw this storyline out too much, because
Okay.
now it's going to progress for Detective Bryant to really get his hands dirty, because now he doesn't have anything to live for. He doesn't have anything to be good for. So he's
Yeah,
really
and
going
it
to
was
show
just
his
so
ass
sad to
now.
see that he drew the picture and he's just like, I'm not like you. And it like that really
Hmm.
broke my heart. Like
It did.
I
I did. I was like, oof, who cutting
yeah,
onions? God damn.
exactly.
Um,
But I mean that's gonna put a battery in Detective Bryant's back to get back at Henry them. And it's going to make for a good like this is a really a turning point episode
mhm.
for multiple characters on the show because obviously we have Remy who is going to be affected by the loss in community that he just had. Stax is gone, but then we have Meech who, okay, so Remy doesn't want to work with me, but we still got these MKs on our back. So what are we going to do about that? Uh
Mhm.
so we're just going to see how everyone reacts to what just happened.
I do think that Remy is going to maybe work something out with Meech now, because things are turning against him. As we see, even Maurice's father is like, you didn't help us at all. Not Maurice, the
Milton.
young boy Milton. He's like, you
Yeah,
didn't really help us at all.
yeah, and he's used to being the one in the community who is like, okay, at the end of the day, the families and children, they should be safe because they're not a part of that. So he takes the job of protector very seriously. And if he would have agreed and tried to keep the peace for a little bit, maybe it could have ended up very differently. But it is his fault that that baby died. So hopefully he does come to his sentence, but this could also make him feel like if Meech didn't come down there and start shit, they wouldn't really be having that kind of a problem.
You're right.
So it could go two different ways.
So I guess we'll see how this plays out, y'all.
Good ass episode though.
Good
Like
ass
it really got
episode.
popping.
Y'all better tune in because this is the one. Like I know I said that last week, but no, this is really the one. Like you guys have to watch episode 5, watch episode 4, and get prepared for episode 6.
Yeah. Because that's what we're gonna see the fallout from what's happened the first half of the season. I don't know what week they're gonna skip because with the power shows they always have a bye week. I hope it's not this upcoming week because I am on the edge of my seat of what is going to happen next, you guys.
Yes, but any
Let us know
final
your
thoughts?
thoughts. Let us know what is the what death were you affected by the most?
Mhm.
Obviously, because there's just a lot of loss in this episode. And what do you think Remy is going to do? I think that's the question I want to leave you guys with. Is he going to decide to work with Meech, or is this going to give him even more of a cause to not work with him anymore?
Good questions. All right, y'all. Ponder on that.
See y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.